up, virtual people? Welcome to episode 35 of VCR Redux. We take your favorite franchises out of the analog era and bring them back to 2021. I'm your host, pop culture punk Chris Stiles, joined as always by my co-host with the most, film professor Ian Klink.
Welcome to the party, pals.
What a way to dynamite drop in. I love it. And of course, as always, we have two radical guests on the show tonight. First up, he's one half of the creative genius behind Retro Fiend Radio, responsible for the best canon and martial arts documentaries on the internet, including the making of Avenging Force, from Brooklyn Punk to Hollywood Ninja, and BTS stories with Brian Trenchard Smith. Dustin Nino's on the show.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Ho, ho, ho.
Oh, yeah, I hope he's got a machine gun to go with that ho, ho, ho. And rounding out this righteous crew, she produces special edition DVDs and Blu-rays, runs a recording and post-production studio, and she produced the upcoming Angela the Sleepaway Camp documentary. Melanie Mullen is on the show.
Yay!
I was trying to think of a Die Hard line that would fit, and I couldn't think of one.
Crushed it. Nailed it. That's my favorite quote. It was Argyle who said that one, right?
Right. Yeah.
Everyone's favorite character. Obviously, we are here today to yippee-kay-yay like a motherfucker, because we all know that Die Hard 1 and Die Hard 2, Die Harder, are both Christmas movies, and we're all ready for another round of holiday heroics, John McClane style. But before we can get into our usual business, I must warn you that for the first time ever on VCR Redux, we're going to try and send a franchise back to the analog era. Die Hard's third installment was titled Die Hard with a Vengeance, so today we ask the question, what if John and Holly had one more Christmas adventure before the events of Die Hard with a Vengeance? This kind of deals with the elephant in the room of a franchise that's already overstayed its welcome, and so it really seems like the best way to move forward. But before we can get the McClane family back together, we need to talk about how Die Hard came into our lives and what we love about it. We'll start with Melanie and Dustin, but that also goes for you guys watching at home. Hit us up in the live chat with your Die Hard diatribes. So, Melanie, how did you first see Die Hard?
Well, as usual, my introduction was not very entertaining. It was just I'm sick of not being a part of the "Is Die Hard a Christmas movie" debate. So
Here we are.
Finally watched it. I only saw Die Hard for the first time like a couple of years ago.
Wow.
For those movies I had just never gotten around to. So
now I have to ask then, did it like, how did it, I mean, I've shown Die Hard to people that were like in their late 20s and they'd never seen it, and they're like, who cares? They were not impressed. So was that the case with you?
I was like, it's fine. It's fun.
Okay, that's
like,
more glowing. That's a more glowing review than I've received.
It's not like man, I hate this movie. I was entertained by it.
There are certain movies that I think really helped to be seen back in the day, and I think specifically the first two Die Hards are of that ilk. For whatever reason, to me, they're like some of the greatest things on earth. But if you didn't see them then it's like one of those movies that's been copied to death. There's been Die Hard on a train, Die Hard on a plane, Die Hard in Spain, Die Hard in the rain. Like, right. You know, it's like Die Hard in your brain. Like, there's all kinds of silly Die Hard knockoffs. So it probably doesn't seem that special anymore.
I don't know. I think I feel like I prefer Lethal Weapon.
I mean,
that is a Christmas movie as well.
Very much
that totally is a Christmas movie. So is Batman Returns, Rocky 4, Rocky 5, Less Than Zero, Trading Places. There's a lot of great dark Christmas movies to be enjoyed this time of the year. Donnie Brasco is almost a Christmas movie in my book, as well. Just because, why not?
Donnie Brasco.
It's one of the greatest, you know it. But getting back onto Die Hard, Dustin, when was the first time you watched Die Hard?
You know, I just probably caught it on TV, I think, and I don't think I caught it all the way through. I remember just catching chunks of it, and it probably wasn't until like I started working at a video store in the 90s that I rented both of them and actually sat down and watched both of them, because I remember, you know, I would just see, you know, pieces of them, and actually, you know, I wanted to actually sit down and watch them all the way through. And so I remember doing that, and then, you know, just being, being hooked ever since. And then I think I even saw the third one in the theater when I was a kid, if I remember correctly. It's been a while. But yeah, it was working at a video store, renting them on VHS, I think, was the time I seen them completely. And they were fun. I loved them immediately. It was obviously a break. The Bruce Willis character was obviously just a break from your normal sort of huge action hero like Schwarzenegger or something. It was like the everyman hero. You can feel like you're him or something. And so I got what they're trying to do. And it was just just based on that was sort of you had to kind of see it and see what where that whole genre started. So yeah, it was a blast. I loved him.
Oh, classics, no doubt. Certainly from the VHS era. Ian, do you remember your first time watching Die Hard?
I don't remember my first time. This is kind of one of those movies where I know it was always on HBO, and I'm sure I caught it. But I do remember the most, though, and this happened a lot. My mother, who would get me and my sister VHSs sometimes for Christmas, but not for us to watch it, but she would get it so she could watch it, so
she get you like fried green tomatoes.
Yeah. So she would get like, I remember she got my sister like Independence Day, and like she watched it more than my sister did. But Mom got me Die Hard for one Christmas. I know that it was either birthday or Christmas. But I remember unwrapping it and having that VHS, copy of Die Hard and just watching it. And of course, I've said this story before, I had, over 200 action figures. So this was definitely, you watch it and then you go play Die Hard with your action figures.
Oh, yeah.
Probably have Venkman's character from the real Ghostbusters as Bruce Willis's character, like all that kind of fun jazz.
Similar hairlines in the day.
That's right. It had a curly mullet. It rocked it out. It's all good, But absolutely. That I remember.
Oh man. I'm sad to say this, and I do want to touch the chat before I get into my Die Hard story, but it's also one I can't remember because it was around so much. It's just, like I feel like I've been watching since I was 4, but technically it was in theaters when I was 4, so I know I didn't see it there. I know it was VHS, but we will get to that, of course, in just a quick second. There are some names in the chat I like to see: Angie Saunders and Matt Sharp and Mike Saunders in there. 3 mashup geniuses in the chat tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Alex Bonafonte is tuned in. We missed you last week, buddy, but so glad to have you back. Let's see. Matt Sharp already voting. It's a Christmas movie. Thank you so much, Matt. I agree through and through. That is why we're here today. To not only prove that it's a Christmas series, a Christmas franchise that just went off the rails, but we're here to correct history and get it back on track, which of course we'll get into in the second half hour of the show. Angie Saunders says she told Mike it's like saying Rudolph is a horror movie. So she is voting not for Die Hard to be a Christmas movie, and this chat is already heating up. So I'll get back to the chat in just a moment, but I also do want to say hi to my buddy James Young in there, who says he was 3 and my dad found it on HBO. That's a great fucking time in life. Like I said, I felt like I was about 3 or 4, but it's just that movie. I have no memory of the first time, but I watched it so many times on VHS. That the thing that changed, the dynamic that changed for me was I didn't think it was a Christmas movie at the time. I just thought it was like Predator or RoboCop, like just a great movie that you watch. I don't think my brain was even realizing that there was really a genre of Christmas movies, like outside of Ernest Saves Christmas and Christmas Vacation. But
I did the same. I do the same thing. I used to watch it all the time, but now I find in my older years, I can only watch it during this time of year.
I wouldn't say I can only watch it then, but it is so much better. It is. I mean, it's a great movie either way. Whether it's a Christmas movie or not, it is. But
I think anytime there's, even if there's a movie and there's like, 5 minutes of a Christmas scene in it and you're watching it in December, it always feels like better watching it around that time whenever it takes place. So
Oh, for sure.
I at first I never really cared like if it was or wasn't, like you said. Yeah, I just dug that it was a cool action movie. But I have to agree. As I got older, watching it around Christmas time is always better. Yeah,
Melanie,
for sure.
did you get the Christmas movie vibes when you watched it?
Not really, but if
Ah,
so,
the naysayer. All right, well that rounds out the
well,
panel. That's good.
well, okay. Well, the thing is like it's in LA, which LA in itself doesn't really deliver on Christmas vibes because there's no snow. It's
There's
sunny.
there's
Like
plenty of snow in LA in 80s Christmas movies. It snowed cocaine in all of them, and I loved it.
true, that is true.
They did have a fascination, like Lethal Weapon is also LA.
Yes, but I don't know. I feel like Lethal Weapon did a.
And Last Boy Scout. That's another Christmas movie that's great. Oh.
I feel like Lethal Weapon did a better job of establishing that it was Christmas time.
Interesting.
I
That's
get
interesting.
but it's
There's
what
a
I
shootout in the
think
Christmas tree a lot. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
that, and it's the music. You really don't like take out I have a machine gun, ho ho ho, right? Take all of that out. It really doesn't focus on Christmas. Like I get the idea of why people don't see Die Hard as a
Kind of
Christmas.
okay.
But
that's a
also,
very good
but I'll also say, can I say this real quick?
Yes, yes.
It's the Run DMC song. People do not know that as a Christmas song. Whereas, Jingle Bell Rock, instant, that is Christmas, which is what Lethal Weapon opens with.
Well, Die Hard 2 ends with "and the weather outside."
Well,
is
so does
frightful."
the first one ends with, the Dean Martin Christmas song too. I mean,
Right.
But what I always find fascinating is Die Hard opens up with, its signature song effect is the jingle, the dun 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 dun. It literally starts off with a Christmas noise, and yet we all always have that debate.
Interestingly,
I am not saying that it's not a Christmas movie. I acknowledge that it's a movie that takes place at Christmas time during a Christmas party. And sure, if you want to say it's a Christmas movie, that's fine. But it's not like I'm just not like, oh, it's Christmas time, I gotta watch Die Hard.
I can understand that. So there is also some talk in the chat now of Fried Green Tomatoes being a Christmas movie, which I guess I hadn't really thought of.
I mean, who doesn't eat their, abusive husband during the holidays? I mean, that's really.
I will say on the Christmas or Not side, you made a good point, Ian, that it doesn't focus on Christmas that much, but neither does It's a Wonderful Life. It just happens to be set at the holidays.
Yes.
So this is, and it's granted, it's not It's a Wonderful Life, but you have obviously a husband reuniting with his wife at Christmas time. They're kind of estranged. They want to get the family back together. Very, very Hallmark, which I love. My favorite bit, one of my favorite bits.
That's a redo we're going to talk about. We're going to make Die Hard the Lifetime movie version of,
and Margaret playing John McClane. I'm there for it.
Who's John McClane? Rob Lowe is.
Oh, fucking take my money now.
Christmas.
Incredible. Oh my God. It's Die Hard 3 sex tape.
Yeah, who's he got to find? Melissa Joan Hart.
Oh, yes, talking with like a terrible European accent, and she's the latest in the Gruber family to wage war against the McClanes.
Oh God,
we're getting ahead of ourselves. We're getting way ahead of ourselves.
That's my bad.
No, that's cool. I'm losing my place anyways because there's actually some really great stuff in the chat. So, and now we have Mike Saunders saying, if it's not a Christmas movie, why are there Die Hard Christmas ornaments? That's true, and they were some of the most popular ones I've seen here. Incredible stuff.
To be fair, there's Miller Lite Christmas ornaments. There's also Alf ornaments. I mean, you can't really judge it off ornaments here.
Alf warms our heart all year long, so that's a fair point.
It's the gift that keeps giving year round, sir. Like, let's not deny that, but
we need to do Alf on VCR Redux, by the way. Side note, That's gotta
Oh, yeah.
happen. Also,
Sweet.
our good friends, Mr. Christian Smock over at Retro Fiend Radio says, I saw Die Hard 2 on the big screen in high school. My girlfriend at the time got into the theater and confronted me with my friends because I cheated on her. She raged me out in front of a packed house. Not my best moment. It was rough. Oh my God. I thought I had it bad on some bad movie dates in the 90s. And wow, you kicked it off in style. Damn, that almost rules. I'm sorry.
But there's also Mickey in the background being like, "Hey, shut up down there."
Yeah, Mac Daddy Mickey Torres. Yeah, meanwhile, he's on a date with 2 chicks. He's like, "Keep it down. I paid good money to be here."
Got his arm around both.
Yeah, Luke Perry's. Yeah, exactly. With his arm around them both. One's holding his milk duds. The other one's holding his popcorn. They're just serving him. They're just feeding him. Just like, yeah,
God.
so good.
Damn.
James Young also says Die Hard is 1000% a Christmas movie. Brad Payne, Die Hard was one of the best movie experiences I've ever had in a theater when it first came out. The audience just laughed and cheered all the way through. That again reeks of Christmas to me, and I love all of it. Alex Bonafonte, though, counters with Die Hard is not a Christmas movie, but it's fun to call it a Christmas movie. Bro, that's the best Christmas movie, bro. Okay, I see what you did there, Alex. Very cute. There's some yippee-kay-yays, and yeah, always fun to watch around Christmas. Again, yeah, some of the same points. Used to be on TBS every Christmas. I did not know that. And now Angie Saunders is listing other Christmas movies. I think White Christmas being one of them.
Look, let me just say this right now. All right. There's few things that Ian Klink, know about in this world. Okay. 1, Dustin and Melanie are the best. 2, all of y'all shut up. 3, Chris Stiles' shirt is disgusting. 4, John McClane does not surf a jet. And 5, this is a Christmas movie. Get over it, people. It's just, that's it. There's nothing more else to say.
Yeah. Seriously, that's an interesting point. People are resistant to this idea in some strange way. It's not like when I tell them the Tombstone guy was sleeping with their mom. I get why they resist that. This I can't ponder. Or no, the Red Baron guy. I'm sorry. The Tombstone guy, the Red Baron pizza guy. He slept with all of our moms in the 90s. We just have to deal with it. If you watch the commercials, that's totally the subtext. What? I'm telling you, it's not just me. It's out there. All right. Watch a Red Baron commercial from the 90s and tell me that dude didn't just like make your mom's life in the commercial, the TV mom. Any rate, way off the rails. Back on track. We should talk about Die Hard 2. We have probably exhausted the debate of is it or isn't it a Christmas movie. But of course, without skipping over throwing love to Alan Rickman and the amazing, incredible Reginald VelJohnson, who's the heartbeat of this franchise. People just were too stupid to know it when they got around to making With a Vengeance.
Big time.
100%, right? Like that's where, and I love Samuel L. in With a Vengeance. It's one of my favorite Samuel L. roles. He's great. He practically saves that movie. That movie's actually really good until the ending, in my opinion, but we'll get to that. I want to talk about some unsung heroes here, if I can. And in Die Hard 2, which is your totally of the day film, right? It's directed by Rennie Harlan, who you hire not to fuck it up. Like you don't hire him because like you want the Rennie Harlan version. You're like, no, he'll just not fuck it up.
Die Hard 2, Die Harder smells of the 90s like high C drinks and skateboard sweat. Like that movie is 100% a 90s movie.
Yeah,
right,
definitely.
It is. Yeah, I mean, it opens up William Sadler doing a kata butt naked.
Oh,
I mean,
God.
Naked fucking Tai Chi. Oh, so good.
See, I love Sadler. I'm gonna get in trouble here, but I prefer Sadler over Alan Rickman.
I love William Sadler. Oh, I'm sorry. Say that again, Melanie.
Sadler was hot in that movie.
Oh God, yes. Who doesn't think he was?
Like, that first scene, I'm just, Die Hard 2.
And what a great way to let the women know, like, hey, this is for you too.
Melanie's been flabbergasted by Sadler, but
who's get hot in here?
You may be a king or a little street sweeper, but sooner or later you dance with the Reaper.
You dance with the Reaper.
William Sadler, yeah.
What about me?
Moment for sure.
I did the shoelaces.
I
could
Wigs.
it's the wigs. Sorry,
No,
I
just
could
Bill and
do
Tedding.
I could quote Bill and Ted's death all day long. He makes everything about that movie so amazing.
Indeed, he does. And
You sunk in my battleship.
He is probably the most memorable thing of Die Hard 2. That, and of course, John Amos. John Amos is great and everything. And I just want to be like, fucking Mr. McDowell's kicking the shit out of John McClane.
Sir, you're forgetting
cool.
one of the rare appearances of the actor who played Meat in Porky's as one of the villains.
Okay.
He's
that's
the
only thing I'm forgetting.
That's right. He gets the icicle through the eye, you know.
Okay. There's some great unsung heroes. Robert Patrick. Obviously the first time you see him is in Die Hard 2. Fred Thompson, who's always great. The cop from Fright Night. I forget his name, but he was like a cop in everything in the 80s. He was like a short dude, salt and pepper hair, black guy. He was the cop in Fright Night. He was a cop in Ruthless People. And he was a cop in Die Hard 2, or an airport cop or something, or airport security. And of course, the best acting in any Die Hard movie, outside of Alan Rickman, of course, is done by Dennis Franz in Die Hard 2, who just sells this.
John Nakatomi from 1988, where I have to explain everything about the first movie so we don't have to pay for any clips. Yeah, I know Dennis Franz.
He's incredible. Oh, I'll just shut it down for you. Fucking goddamn it, McClane. Like, I got everyone from the fucking Cub Scouts to the Shriners convention coming through here, and you want to shut me down? Like, no one is better at that role.
Chris, that was like
Dennis
the best
Franz.
Chicago accent I've ever heard.
I was gonna say, yeah, that was good.
He's got that Chicago, New York. I mean, I grew up in Chicago, so you know, the Midwest in me just can't. You know, I watched too many super fans, been to too many Bears games to not know how to do that. But he has that perfect mix of like Chicago, New York. Like somehow he's got both in one voice.
Oh yeah.
I don't know anyone else who does it better. But and like also like he's totally 100% Polish while also being 100% Italian at the same time. I don't know how he does it, but it's a thing of beauty and I love it.
I found a tweet that I posted while I was watching Die Hard 2 for the first time.
Yes.
Which it looked like was only December of last year. So I don't know.
Okay.
I just said, I'm watching Die Hard 2 for the first time, and William Sadler is looking fine AF. Anyway, happy holidays.
What was the last part?
That's too funny.
Anyway, happy holidays.
That's not
fine AF, like looking fine as fuck.
Yes, I'm not that trapped in the 80s.
Thank you for letting us know that.
Cracking the code. I thought you were talking about that's some fine autofocus on those shots.
Drink more Ovaltine? Son of a bitch.
Right.
It's like the Matrix.
I will say this. I've got to give the producers of the Die Hard series those are brave MFers, all right, because they cast the funny guy from Moonlighting as their action hero. I mean, not since Dudikoff from Bachelor Party being the head honcho of a movie has ever a risk been more. I mean, really think about that. If you were a studio head, would any of you okay that?
Yeah, it's definitely not.
Of course.
It's like, what's this movie going to be? Oh, Snakes on a Plane with who? Matthew Perry. You know, like Oscar Gold. It just doesn't. It's just insane to think about. Now we know Bruce Willis.
But
I mean, we
at the same time.
Obviously know painfully Bruce Willis does action movies now.
Yeah, painfully. But this was kind of that era. It was sort of a turning over. It was a new, like Arnie and Sly were kind of old news already, even though it only been like a few short years of superstardom for Arnie. Sly had been around for a long time and they were like old guard almost. And like for a minute there, it was like, okay, Mel Gibson, Bruce Willis, and Michael Keaton. are now the action stars. Like, you know, that kind of happened around like 88 to 92.
I think every critic did that too. Michael Keaton? Question mark?
Right.
But then you watch it and it's
Right.
like, fucking hey, Michael Keaton's incredible.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, Clean and Sober,
It really
Pacific
was
Heights, you know.
Yeah, it really was the beginning of hiring actual actors to do action roles. You know, always before it was like they kind of went the other way around with like Arnie and, you know, and Van Damme and these guys and Norris. You know, they were never fucking actors first by any fucking stretch of the word.
Oh no.
And so by, you know, and it was just, it's sort of like, well, let's give actually actors a chance to do this. And it sort of just set the trend of, you know, them having to put in the work too, but it's, you know, what they turn out is fucking enjoyable AF. So,
and it's almost more fun when you're like a regular, when, you know, it's almost more fun and accessible when it's a kind of regular-ish guy who's just fucking crazy. You know, like Riggs and McClane are both batshit crazy, and that's what's fun about those guys.
Yeah.
You know, McClane's like barefoot in the park, you know, when there's like terrorists going on, and man, that's the crossover I need. Die Hard 3, barefoot in Jurassic Park. Again, we are ahead of ourselves. I do want to touch on the chat again, just because it's going wild. There are already some pitches, which I will get to later. Matt Sharp is urging for me to play McClane in a reboot, apparently, which take my money. I'm sold. I'm sure no one would be disappointed in that.
Chris, I'd watch it. Just,
yeah,
as your friend.
I think maybe 3 of the 4 people in this chat might watch it as a friend.
I would watch it.
You lie, Melanie. You would not watch it.
You would so not watch it. She's like, the original Die Hard was yawn, but William Sadler, fine AF, which means
Chris Stiles, maybe fine as F.
I couldn't even play like Albert Leong's role, and we didn't talk about him, the great Albert Leong, the greatest henchman that ever henched, in the best candy bar.
Is he the law? Oh my gosh.
Yep.
No, can I? Okay, one of my favorite parts, and this is the only part nobody ever really laughs. Nobody ever really laughs at it, but you know, I always find moments in movies that are just nobody else finds great, but I love it.
So know what you're gonna say.
It's the part where the guy gets up and the SWAT man gets in the bushes and he's like, ow. I think he's so, like, why did McTiernan choose that moment? I don't know. But I also love the actor. It's like, get him the car. Get him the car. Yeah, it's just a beautiful moment in that movie. That's in Shakespeare.
You know, to me, the Shakespeare shit is like, this line's reserved for emergencies only. Like, no shit, lady, do I sound like I'm ordering a fucking pizza? Like that, those kind of moments are, you know, or just like him, like, John, what the fuck are you doing? Like him talking to himself and stuff.
Yeah.
Like those are just great, you know, I don't know. Those are great moments for me. And Albert Leong also in Lethal Weapon. That's right. I forget about that. He's Enzio, I think, who tortures Mel Gibson with the electric shock.
Oh yeah, he was.
He's forgotten more about giving pain than you and I will ever know. And again, there's just more talk of other things being Christmas movies in the chat. Karate Kid being a Christmas movie. Our good buddy Sean Gold from Gold's Code says Sadler was right off his hit role as Grim Reaper from Bill and Ted, a true tour de force. Get down with your bad self. This, I guess that was around the same time, 1990, same summer, I believe. Or was it 91? Bogus Journey might have been 91. Now that I think about it.
I think you're correct.
Yeah, I think that is correct. But we are just about at the half-hour point. Is there anything, you know? We sort of glossed over with a Vengeance, didn't really talk about it much. We're not going to talk about 4 and 5 because they didn't happen, or whatever, you know, those numbers would be. Good day to die hard, roll up and live free, or curl up and die hard, whatever. Those just didn't happen in this multiverse. We're going to fix that.
After 2, it's basically fart harder. Like that doesn't matter. It's just,
you know, the third one, I will say this, which interestingly, it was an original script called Simon Says, not the Dennis Rodman movie Simon Says, but it had nothing to do with John McClane, and 20th Century Fox is like, yo, this should be the next Die Hard movie, and they worked their magic on it, and that's what it became.
So they basically Miramax Hellraiser did, is what you're saying.
Kinda, basically.
Gross. Just
yeah,
gross.
they Meatballs 3'd it, or Meatballs 2'd it.
Meatballs part I. Thank you very much.
Oh, my condolences. Let's not bring up Summer Job, but But alas, Die Hard 3 starts really strong. John McTiernan comes back. It's well directed. It's got good action set pieces. Samuel L. Jackson's great. The villain plot is smart. It's a good bait and switch. It feels like Die Hard in all the ways, except for that it's not a Christmas movie. And the ending is like the weakest part of the film. It's just like they just ran out of ideas. And like I really feel like they just ran out of script. And we're like, let's just have John McClane shoot at a helicopter from far away. It's like the most impersonal climax in any action movie I've ever seen.
I do remember
the
worst VHS cover ever.
Oh yeah, just you know, I think he's on our overlay even.
Yeah, it's like 2 was just a close up, which is fine in the explosion background, but that was the first poster too. But that one was just like I remember looking at it going, "You didn't try." It was like, "Hey Bruce, we got to get a picture." What? Yeah, all right, here. Are you done? All right, I gotta go. Like that's pretty much it.
The original poster was dope, but like the movies, they just kind of keep copying it. You know, like let's get him with like a head tilt looking to the side. You know, maybe he's got a gun up, maybe not. Like maybe there's an explosion in the background, or maybe it's a city, whatever, you know. And
exactly.
Not even just Die Hard posters, but every Bruce Willis poster has like the head tilt look to the side since then. Like even Color of Night, like has
and
that
I don't
same
even
head
care.
pose.
And I don't even care if it's a wig. John McClane has hair.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. He looks good with a shaved head, but not John McClane. That's not McClane. Like, and he apparently was wearing a toupee throughout a lot of his movies anyways. So.
No, okay, so 3 was, 2 is where he started wearing it, but 3 is the one where they had to refilm a lot because the wig that they had looked terrible.
Okay, I could see
so
that.
They had to reshoot a bunch of it because they're like, we need a better wig.
That's amazing.
But that's why he started just going bald. It's because he wasn't going to reshoot movies again. He's like, you get bald or nothing.
Well,
yeah, geez.
I get it. Oddly enough, Kevin Smith said that that's like the one thing he's not cool with, like you joking about, because they brought Kevin Smith in to kind of doctor up the script a little bit on the 4th one. That's why he's in the movie. And they're like, yeah, you can't make bald jokes. Like he's not cool with that. Like, really?
Live
okay.
Free or Die Hairless.
Shave close or die hard. So we are at the half-hour point, past it a little bit even. It is time for our pitches. I thought it'd be interesting to take a moment and talk about all the Die Hard movies we're thankful we didn't get for a second before we start pitching things, and then maybe we'll pitch some terrible ones as well before we get into like our kind of serious pitches. Again, we're going back to like the early mid 90s here and doing like Die Hard 2.5 or 3.2 or whatever you want to call it. In between Die Hard 2 and Die Hard with a Vengeance is where we want this movie to land. But seeing as how that's what we want, I'm so thankful we never got the late 90s Die Hard 4 that was supposed to be Bruce Willis and Ben Affleck in the jungle. That is just a thing that, like, thank God we didn't get that. I think Armageddon happened and they were like, yeah, that's a bad idea.
What Ghost did the Die Hard? Like what?
So then they just made Tears in the Rain or whatever.
Yeah, basically, I think that's they cobra'd that shit. Like they chopped that up, sent a little bit of this over here, a little bit of this over there, like turned Ben Affleck into Justin Long, and you have Live Free or Die Hard.
Yeah, because that's kind of like what that movie kind of feels like. It's like they just didn't give a fuck. They could have just made him John McClane.
Yeah, basically.
You're totally right.
I like Die Hard with boats. I like Striking Distance.
Die Hard on a boat to me,
Control?
Speed 2 Cruise Control is more Die Hard on a boat.
Oh God, well, yeah, but I like Striking Distance. That was a good one.
And obviously, Die Hard on a Plane is Passenger 57. Die Hard on a Train is Money Train. They really did.
No, that's Under Siege. That's Under Siege too, man.
Oh, that's also
Dark Territory.
Dark Territory.
Which has the best line ever. It's like this is insane. We can't do this. Wait, Casey Ryback's on this train? We're okay.
Casey motherfucking Ryback.
Yeah, and that is totally Seagal trying to be McClane. Like, oh, I'm just a cook in this one.
Oh, yeah.
I'm yeah, sure, I know karate and martial arts, and I'm invulnerable, but I'm just a cook.
Yeah, exactly.
But I gotta say, my favorite, not to double back because I forgot to mention this before, though one of my favorite things about John McClane, one of my favorite like character establishing moments in any movie is that John McClane sits up front with the limo driver. I just think I love that to this day. I'm like, that, all right, we love this guy already. He's not gonna sit in the back. Who the fuck on earth but John McClane would do that? Nobody. Anyway. So there are other Die Hard sequels. I think there was going to be a Die Hard 6 prequel or something, not an in-betweenquel, but like a teen McClane. I'm thankful we never got that. That would just be awful.
Police Academy.
Yes.
Yeah, the Academy. Oh my God.
That's actually the official title of A Good Day to Die Hard. It was, Die Hard Mission to Moscow. That's
oh my God. Yeah, that's so fucking true.
That's so funny. I'm surprised they didn't try to tie in I was gonna say, I was surprised they didn't try to tie in a Planet Hollywood Die Hard with Stallone, Kurt Russell, and at the height of their Planet Hollywood failure, try to tie in some Die Hard crossover movie. You think they would have tried to do it then?
Now, I will tell you this: there is a Die Hard 3 out there that you all don't know about. That's not on the internet.
I'm sure there's plenty of them.
Oh, I know for a fact. It was the original Die Hard 3 script written by little 8-year-old Ian Klink that involved John McClane's son and daughter, and there was a hostage situation at a school, and John McClane had to come save the day. I got yelled at by my dad because I had too many F words in the script.
Well, it's a Die Hard film. It's a R-rated franchise at that point.
That's what I said too. I'm like, but that's the movie, Dad. So anyway,
man,
that never saw.
Just change him to Falcons, like in the TV edit of Die Hard.
Look, it got
yippee-kay-yay, Mr. Falcon.
Look, it got put into turnaround. What can I say?
Hey, Mom and Dad have the power to do these things. Only Mom and Dad can save the universe by getting that script into the right hands. And with the right crayons.
That's too funny.
That's amazing. I wrote a Howard the Duck ripoff when I was a kid, but I never thought to write a Die Hard sequel.
Man, I should have.
And in fact, I should sue because that other later on in the movie, the son did become the star of it, and the daughter.
There it is.
You owe me money, Bruce Willis.
That's right. We know you're watching, Bruce. So there are some pitches in the
oh my God, what
chat.
if he is watching? We love this movie.
We love you, Bruce. Come on the show. Again, you look great. Demi, she's missing out. So there are some pitches. Sean Gold from Gold's Code says Die Hard 3 Deadly Dreidel. I cried when Reginald Val Johnson overcame his fear of guns to save McClane at the end. Oh, I guess that's not really a pitch. That's just like a comment and a title pitch. Well, that's an interesting title. Deadly Dreidel. I'm not entirely opposed to that. I'd be down for that. There were some other pitches. 4 and 5 happen. I'm pitching part 6, says Alex Bonafonte, and here is his pitch for part 6. Bruce Willis is famously lazy. Plot synopsis: after the events in Russia, John McClane Jr. is burned and relegated to desk duty at Langley. Father John McClane is kidnapped by the same Russian group and held in war-torn Crimea. Junior must go all John Wick style while Bruce makes fun of his captors like in The Last Boy Scout. Not the worst thing I've ever heard in my life. I don't think too many people want to pretend that Mission to Moscow happened or be reminded of it. So that may be tough in that aspect of it. But given that what it is what it is. That's a very good version of that. Mike Saunders says the McClanes rent a cabin to escape the madness that seems to erupt every Christmas. Unfortunately, their cabin is where a terrorist group has decided to hide out. Of course, John runs barefoot in the snow. I love it. I love it. I love it.
I think
that's what I'm talking about right there. Die Hard 3, Christmas Vacation. Fucking sold. God damn it! Because McClane can be cousin Eddie and Clark in one.
Only if you have John McClane with the look of Chevy Chase on the poster.
Or you could actually have Randy Quaid in there too, though. You could have cousin McQuaid.
If they filmed in Canada, maybe, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
now
my
you're starting
gosh.
to warm to it. You're starting to warm to the idea. I was thinking a warm weather vacation for them, because literally Die Hard 3 Christmas Vacation is one thing I was thinking. But I'll throw the first wrinkle in if I can. What if it's not just the McClanes going on vacation, but they are starting a tradition with the Powell family, and we get Reginald Vell Johnson back, who belongs at the forefront of this franchise, and it's the Powells and the McClanes on vacation, and finally they get to kick ass together, not just like over walkie-talkies and stuff. Like, they've done enough bonding via communication of the day. They even faxed in Die Hard 2. None of it. No fax machines in this movie. Just them in the woods, and they're both, well, at least John McClane's got to be barefoot, because that's part of the brand. But just throwing it out there, I think he belongs in the franchise. Y'all can agree or disagree, but could be Die Hard 3, Family Matters.
I agree. I feel like he should have been brought back.
And what if his wife, Jo Marie Payton, comes with him, and you get to hear some
now we're talking. Now you're talking.
Yeah, she's the best voice ever.
Okay, this would be kind of, if you set that up, you have McClane's son and their daughter getting married.
Oh, that's nice. I like that.
Right. And so
okay. On a cruise ship, and Dennis Franz is also on the cruise ship. I'm sorry, I'm back in there. I'm done.
Well, okay, but let's be honest. What is the Die Hard on a blank that we haven't had?
Oh, great question.
Because that's where it's got to be. You've got to have what's the Die Hard we haven't had? Die Hard on a blank. What have we not had? We've had Die Hard on a plane. We've had Die Hard on a cruise ship.
We have not yet had Die Hard on a paddle boat.
Die Hard 3, the Mississippi River.
Submarine.
Oh, submarine's not bad, but we have not yet had Die Hard on a half pipe. I'm talking skating with machine guns, like ho ho ho. I got some inlines and an Uzi. Fucking, I'm there. I'm just saying I'm there.
What is this? Die Hard 3 Jersey Shore? Knock it off.
Die Hard 3. Oh, it's perfect. Die Hard 3, Skater Die Hard. Oh, be still my heart.
Skater Die Hard.
The greatest video game of all time. Skater Die.
Yeah.
Just got greater. Dude, we're done. I'm out of here, guys. I'll see you next week for Star Wars Holiday Special.
Dude. The Die Hard video game was fun.
And you could have fucking Shane McDermott from Airborne in there. Oh, it'd be fantastic. It'd just be fan-fucking-tastic.
Oh, man. Seth Green, why not?
Oh, why? Gotta
Seriously,
have a villain.
I really am trying to think. What have we not had? We've had Die Hard at an auditorium.
On a rocket ship.
Half pipe.
Like, you basically have to. It's like you have to do Die Hard in space. Like, I don't know where else to go.
Onto a half pipe. What else have you not? There's got to be something that's like more earthbound, because no one's gonna warm to my Die Hard on Wheels idea.
Island.
As long as Richard Mazer plays the bad guy.
The boat is the only.
Oh, Richard Mazer, yeah. 92, he was primed to do that kind of work.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I can't. That's what I'm saying. I can't. It's like, because I thought about, like, I know the location, right? We've had LA, we've had New York. It's got to be Chicago. Like,
oh God,
it's just got to be Chicago. But it's like, you don't want to have it, Die Hard in the Sears Tower. And F you Chicagoans, don't even give me crap. It's the Sears Tower. Shut up. All right.
I just want to speak on behalf of my fellow Chicago people that we all call it the Sears Tower. If you think anyone from Chicago calls it the Willis Tower, you're crazy. That's not happening.
Yeah, but it's like, you don't want to have
Chicago, St. Patty's Day, the river's green, put him in a boat. Yeah, put him in the boat when the river's green.
But it's like, but it's got to be a Christmas. It's like,
Christmas.
Put it though. You can't have it at O'Hare because we've already had Die Hard at the airport.
Yeah.
Die Hard in Aurora, Illinois. Like, I don't. It's like...
Aurora. Yeah, it's really tough to find an Earthbound location. That's why I keep pushing for Die Hard on a half pipe, Die Hard at the X Games. What if John McClane Jr. was a pro skateboarder and also an avid machine gun enthusiast? And like I said, played by Shane McDermott, it could be great with his wily best friends, played by Seth Green. But there were some more pitches in here. Die Hard at a Weight Watchers meeting in the chat, Dennis Franz and his brother, Die Hard on a space station. Die
As
Hard
I'm
goes
saying, Die Hard
spelunking.
in space. It works, man.
Oh, you haven't done Die Hard. You haven't done Sky Hard. Basically, like Point Break that shit. You go all kinds of extreme sports. McClane's old ass has
Sky
got to get like
Hard.
surfing, and he's got to get like jumping out of planes to get Patrick Swayze, who could be the bleach blonde villain. And just make it as early 90s as fuck. Die Hard 3, Point Breaking Point.
Yeah. What was that
Teams up.
parachuting
John
movie in the
McClane
90s?
gets together. Oh, what if all the Johns got together? Like John McClane, Johnny Utah, John Matrix, John Rambo. They have
There
a
you go.
support
I
group.
mean, they all share the same social milieu. I mean, you know,
John
had Stephen DeSalza wrote, you know, Running
Johnny
Man
Lawrence.
and
Johnny
yeah,
Lawrence.
Johnny
Tom
Lawrence.
Cruise.
Yeah.
That's
All right,
true.
let's-
All
Yeah,
the
that's so
action
funny.
Johns.
All right, so here's what happens. John McClane goes to Doctor Strange and he says, I don't want to be in this universe where I'm known as John McClane. And all of a sudden, all the villains start coming in the multiverse. So Hans Gruber is back.
William Sadler's butt naked
William
doing
Sadler's
fucking Tai Chi,
butt naked is
sweating.
back. You know, all this
Green
stuff.
light. Green light.
Green
Green
light.
light.
Green light.
We have a fucking
Red
3-picture
light.
deal at Melanie Studios to
light.
make this movie. You know, I'll bet you William Sadler's kept it together. I bet you he works out and he could still pull off those scenes, even though it's been 30 years. I just got a feeling he'd pull it off. Just saying. As for Die Hard going spelunking, that's maybe a tough sell. You could Die Hard jetpack.
Die Hard K12. There you go.
I love ski movies,
Or
but
K2 or what was it? K. You know
K2.
all the K2, yeah. Die Hard.
Yeah.
yeah.
Die Hard Cake, like that in the mountains.
DH
Die Hard
K2.
3, Aspen Extreme.
Well,
Now,
Rennie
don't get me
Harlan
wrong, it's not a
did do
bad place to
Cliffhanger.
set. It's not a bad place to set a Christmas Vacation, and we have already had some snowmobile action in a Die Hard movie. We could have some more. Maybe McClane, you know, is going after a villain on a snowmobile down a mountain, but all McClane's got is this like rusty old saucer sled, and he's got to figure it out. He's got to shoot his way down the mountain to get there faster using bullets as accelerants. What a scene. What a guy. Only McClane would do it. It's gonna make it rain bullets. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you could do that. Die Hard in Aspen, you know.
I am supposed to tell the audience my mother does officially say it is a Christmas movie. If Meg Klink says it's a Christmas movie, it's a Christmas movie. So there.
Thank you, Mama
That's
Clink.
it. Debate's over.
Debate's over. Done.
They play Ode to Joy in the goddamn movie. It doesn't get more Christmas than that.
But we had Cliffhanger. Like, where has there not been a Die Hard movie?
Yeah, so in the sky again, parachuting with shooting machine guns while they're like, you know, dual Uzis while dropping from the sky, but they're skyboarding to make it, you know, a little more action sporty. They're on it's just like the X Games of Die Hard. Like their son is an extreme sports enthusiast, so John and Holly take him somewhere, and there's half pipes, and there's like falling out of the sky with parachutes and skyboarding and rocket packs, like jet packs, because reasons. I need them.
Because reasons.
There's street luging. There's everything I want in a movie. There's jet skiing. Just to try and give you the greatest hits of what you haven't gotten in Die Hard yet. You
Live
know,
extreme,
Yeah.
Die Hard.
live extreme. Yeah, go big or die hard. Yes, it's almost as good as Skate or Die Hard. But it's an expression that I have whenever anyone in a movie is doing something extreme, like someone's riding the top of a train. I always say, "Skate it." Like they're skate, you know, as if life is a skate park and you got to skate it.
John McClane does not surf a jet.
No, but he grinds a subway with his bare feet. Or he's wearing soaps. Remember soaps, the crime blade shoes? His
Oh,
son got him
man.
soaps. Yes, that's what. Oh, this is the fucking MacGuffin right here. His son got him soaps and he hates wearing them, because he's John McClane, likes going bare feet or whatever. But the soaps are the thing that save his life at the end. He uses them to grind on the fucking train and says, yippee-kay-yay, motherfucker, while he shoots the Uzi. And this is poetry right here. 90s.
Comes full circle.
Where was that advertisement campaign? All right, I could have made millions. Get John McClane in a shoe store.
Yeah.
like a Payless shoe ad.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. McLean's shoes. That's genius. Like you would, do you really want to risk not having something solid under your feet? That's like the fucking RoboCop guy being at the Dollar Tree store, I'd buy that for $1.
$1.
This is perfect. Dollar General, whatever it is. We're done, guys. We've nailed this here. Because we can't take Die Hard to space. The last thing I want to do is take Die Hard.
But you kind of did. It's called Armageddon. Like that's what I'm saying. Like where does you?
Okay.
I will say this. Oh, that's true.
We do live in a world now where if you are very wealthy, you can travel to space. So what if like John McClane gets on a Blue Origin with Jeff Bezos but then something happens and they can't return back to Earth. And then there's like a terrorist situation. There's a terrorist on the Blue Origin shuttle with John McClane.
Yeah.
That's ship faster,
Die Hard, and
some kind of science stuff that keeps them from being able to return to Earth.
I like the detail.
In space,
I like the thought.
Nobody yippee-kay-yay.
And they're staying up there, and this guy's holding Jeff Bezos' dick rocket hostage.
I totally thought you were. I did not know rocket was going to follow that word.
And they're staying up there until Jeff Bezos pays up.
So he's got Jeff Bezos' dick rocket, and they're gonna stay up there. I love the puns behind this, like the subliminal boners all over that plot pitch.
A subliminal bone.
Like you're definitely trying to fuck with the audience there, which I love.
Not since
very deep.
Billy Shakespeare has words rang so beautifully.
That is all kinds of mind-blowing and great. Yeah, I mean, there's all, like you said, also the submarine factor. I'm trying to think if there's a vehicle that hasn't been died hard yet.
Yeah. Maybe his kid gets a job at Colonial Williamsburg, like we were saying before, and then he has to go there as a terrorist situation, and then he has to go save his kid from Colonial Williamsburg people, and he's fucking fighting
nightmare.
Quakers and shit.
I'm so thankful that hasn't happened. Like a Civil War reenactment or some shit, like just the worst.
Ye die hard.
I'm so thankful we never got
Ye die hard spelled with an E at the end of hard.
I'm so thankful we never got like a Turtles in Time version of Die Hard where literally McClane of present day has to go back in time to then.
Like the Wild West.
Yeah, the Wild West.
The cowboy.
Yeah, cowboy
man, now you're
kind
talking.
of shit. Like, oh my God, cowboy and McClanians.
Oh my God.
I'm surprised they didn't do that, like some sort of transfers thing where he just keeps time traveling, and yeah, that would have been fucking Jesus.
And
Christ.
no one gets his one-liners. Like he's, what do I sound like? I'm trying to order a fucking pizza. Like, what is this order of pizza?
What's a pizza?
They hand Judas the $30. It gets shot out of his hand. What is that? Yippee-kay-yay, Judas.
We only have wood-burning guns in this era. John McClane left his boots at home.
That's it. John McClane at the first Christmas. He's got to protect Jesus, the baby.
Jesus. Oh, now we're talking.
All right.
God.
Now we're talking.
Come on. Die Hard 3 Wise Men. Come on.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Like that
I
shit.
I
see
got
what
your
you-
frankincense of myrrh right
I
here.
see what you did there.
Yes.
Die Hard 3's company. All right. You know what? Fuck it.
That's
I'm
not
game.
bad. That's not
I'm
bad.
game. Just because of like the one-liners that like the potential for McClaney one-liners is sky high in this pitch.
Oh my
so-
God, he shoots, I wash my hands of thee. Bang. Yeah. What'd you just serve, McLean? A Caesar salad. Like that's just great. Come on.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Oh,
I'm all
man.
about it. Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. Why not?
Fuck it. He saves Jesus.
It's
Like
always
8-pound, 4
Yeah.
ounce baby Jesus.
that's a
F-
great way to
F it,
ramp it
F
up
it,
though. I mean,
F it,
he
dude.
saved
Let's go bowling.
he saved Christmas for his wife and for most of the Nakatomi employees. Then he saved Christmas for like all of Washington D.C. and like an airport full of people. So how do you ramp it up? He saves Christmas for like the space-time continuum. You know,
That's what I'm talking about.
Jesus,
And that's
doing
and
it
that's
for
it. And he
Jay.
does-
Oh,
and he
and Al
does-
Powell's got to be there.
Yeah. He's definitely one of the wise men for sure. He's the one who
Okay.
like finds the North Star and shit.
Oh, the three fucking wise men have to be played then by Samuel L. Jackson, Reginald Vell Johnson, and they're fucking. I
And
hate
the
to.
limo driver.
Oh yes, Argyle.
Argyle.
And
yes.
Argyle, yeah.
Oh,
Perfect.
this just warmed
Now
my
we're
Christmas
talking.
heart.
And at the very
Now
end,
we're talking.
when everybody's crying because it's a Christmas movie, right? You got the stars shining on little baby Jesus and everything, and all this stuff. McLean's like, yeah, this is good. Little tears dropping. All of a sudden, that stupid drummer boy starts coming up, waking up that baby.
I got a gift for you.
And then you could totally hook it, right? Like at the end, he goes back, to like present time, and he's found like some newfound meaning for life. And him and his son sit down and watch Commando together, which, by the way,
Yeah.
those of you that don't know, Die Hard is based on a book, as is Commando. The book that the book that Die Hard is based on is a sequel to the book that Commando is based on. I know that's fucking weird.
Oh, that's
But
weird.
That's also why I was
Steven-
inspired.
Isn't it like isn't it called Under Siege?
Same.
I can't
It's
remember
the same
name.
writer too. Yeah, Stephen
Yeah.
DeSalvo wrote Commando, and he also
Right.
wrote Die Hard.
Right.
So, yeah, that would be fucking cool, dude. I'm all for that.
It's an interesting. I don't know if it's Matrix and McClane are supposed to be the same guy, but man, what a team up. And just the fucking catch time of Commando was "Let's party," and obviously the great line from Die Hard, "Welcome to the party, pal." It just seems like those two guys really want to party together. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but I really think they
man.
want to party with each other.
Of
And then you
course
have
they
Eddie
do.
Murphy come in, and it's Die Hard 3, party all the time. Fucking great, right there.
Oh my gosh.
Die Hard, you
Oh,
got McClane, you got Willis, Schwarzenegger, and Murphy. I mean, just stop making movies after that. It's just
just cut the whole system down, folks. Like
Just-
movies
yeah.
are done.
no more awards are necessary because
Yeah,
they're all
the
gonna go to
movies
this
won't be
one.
made after this.
That's it. The end of cinema as we know it. Die Hard 3, the end of the world as we know it. Angie Saunders, by the way, says, sorry to your mom, but action movie it ain't. Or action movie, dang it. Not Christmas movie. So shots fired
Don't
at
mess
Mrs.
with-
Klink.
Dude,
We got your
don't-
back. We got your back, Mrs. Klink.
Don't mess
Yeah.
with my
Yeah.
mom. She's got guns, you guys. Like
You
I'm
gotta watch out. Ian's, stop or
there's
my
a-
mom will shoot, he says.
like you have no clue. This woman put the fear of God in me. Like don't mess with her.
I'm thankful we didn't get to meet McClane's mom in like a McClane, Die Hard stuff.
Maggie
My mom will shoot.
McClane.
Oh
What's that?
man.
Mrs.
Maggie
McClane? Maggie McClane.
Peggy McLean. Oh my God, Kathy
Although,
Bates. You are
Rue
a
McClane-
genius, Melanie.
Although
You're a
Rue
genius.
McClanahan maybe
Well,
could
she-
have done that
No
some
longer
justice.
with us, sadly, as much as I
Yeah, I
wish
think it
she was.
I know she's not, but we can always make it an animated movie.
Die,
and just
Die Hard
recycle
3,
lines of hers from
fried
Golden
green,
Girls.
fried green tomatoes.
Oh man. Well, I think we have beaten whatever life was left potentially in Die Hard out of it tonight. So I think we've done a pretty good job of keeping this franchise back.
Yeah, we
in the
kind of
spirit
live free or
Christmas.
die hard this, you know?
Hey, we took it everywhere and then back again. It's what you're supposed to do. We avoided space, or we didn't. We went to space and came back. We went through time. We went on vacation. We did it all. If there's not the seeds of a great Die Hard 3 in there, then I don't know where they are. But before we wrap things up, of course, I do want to give Melanie and Dustin a chance, and Ian as well. If you plug anything you guys got coming up in the works, anything you could tease the fans about going on over at Retro Fiend or with the Angela doc, maybe?
Yeah, we got some more crew stories coming up. We got Brian Trenchard Smith, a docu-cast coming up next. More Furstenberg stuff, more Ninja stuff. Just keep checking. Check out Retro Fiend Radio over at YouTube if anybody's into cool docs with obscure pop culture references. So,
if you live for all things ninja like I do, it is the channel for you. Melanie, anything going on well, you're both out on the West Coast, but anything going on in your corner of the world?
I mean, nothing new since last week.
Well, Melanie is, as is Dustin. You guys are both becoming practically hosts of this show, so we appreciate you guys coming in all the time, and apologies for putting you on the pressure every week to have something new to plug and come out with.
not at all.
But again, we appreciate you guys so much. If you're not doing it already, you got to check out both of their work. Of course, you Fandom fans might want to tune in to Tuesday's Fear the Walking Dead Reactor panel featuring our very own Governor, Captain Kyle. And of course, we want you to tune in next Wednesday at 9 p.m. when we take the VCR to a galaxy far, far away for our Star Wars Holiday Special episode. That's right. You know you need it. You might not know you need it, but now you do, because B. Arthur's in it. And of course, that will be wrapping up our 4 weeks of Christmas on VCR Redux. As always, if there's a particular movie or TV franchise that you want us to cover on a future episode, let us know in the comments section on YouTube. And since you're already doing that, you might as well go ahead and like, subscribe, and follow Retro Fiend Radio, Fandom Spotlight, Rick Barth and the Line, Hollow Knight Network, and Pop Culture Punk. And keep your eyes and ears on the lookout for the Angela the Sleepaway Camp documentary. And until then, back up those Betamax, rewind those Laserdiscs, and we'll see you at the movies.